Hello, I'm Stephen Edholm and I'm here to show you a really cool technique today, which is how to cut small diameter wood into little pieces with an axe or hatchet on a stump or log. Now this is going to seem really simple, but like anything else, there's just important points, and if you don't get those right, it's going to be less effective and very unsafe actually. This is a very unsafe technique if you don't do it right, and it's always a little bit unsafe, but that's just the nature of using sharp tools. Okay, so here's the technique. Okay, as you can see, it's not particularly a lot of work on small diameter wood, and it's pretty fast. Okay, so important point number one, never cut across a piece of wood directly like this. You either need to slash at an angle this way, or you need to have the length of the wood going this way and come across it at an angle that way. And that's what we're doing here. Because it just works out. We form like kind of a triangle, right? This is pointing that way, your axe is pointing this way, and that's just the perfect angle right there. Important point number two, this has to be supported right where you hit it. You want the piece resting right on there, and you want to hit it right there. If you hit it out here, it's going to do this and push your hand out, and if you hit it back here, it's going to shock your hand, bounce the stick, the axe could like deflect, and worst of all, if you cut through it back here, you've formed a lever like a seesaw, and this stick is going to flip back up into your face. Okay, I've done that. I've literally been hit in the face with sharp sticks doing this. I hope I can get out of the way. See what I mean? Okay, so the other safety factor is just keeping your body out of the way of wherever the edge is going to head. Like we call it watching your follow through. This is from HUSQVARNA. A continual awareness of this sharp edge every time you pick this thing up. The entire time you're using it. I mean, this is just, your consciousness is like centered around this or wherever it is. In this case, I'm aiming down this way, so I'm not aiming too much back towards myself. If anything, I'm aiming off that way too. And I also tend to get my leg further away. I'm not standing, you know, like this or like this with my knee right there. I just want to distance myself from the work. Miss. Okay, let's talk now about head weight and handle length. If I was designing the perfect axe, I would probably get something similar to a Hudson's Bay axe with a really long bit. It would be about an inch longer than this. And that way I don't have to aim as careful, right? Because the blade is so wide. And maybe a handle around 20 inches long or so. If this is 25, yeah, 20 to 22 inch long handle. That's about, you know, I'm gripping it anywhere from here out to here. Really, this is fine. I actually like this handle quite a bit for this. I rarely am going to be found holding it all the way at the end. I'm going to be up here at about 20 inches. And the other thing with long handles is you want to watch out for hitting them on yourself. That's another reason you want to stay off to the side like this. Because if this hits something while you're swinging, everything's going to go south. So obviously you can use a hatchet. Don't get this hatchet because I'm holding it or using it. I actually hate this. I bought it to review, and it's getting a very negative review when I get around to it. So anyway, hatchet's more dangerous, and it's more dangerous because first of all you have to lean over to get closer to your work, so you're closer to that stick that's going to fly in your face if you mess up. The other reason is that any short handle guides the hatchet towards your body, so this can hit me directly in the kneecap. That's where it naturally wants to go. Or if it flips up, it can hit me in the face. Obviously, it's easier to cut small diameter wood. When you start getting into bigger pieces, or especially if the pieces aren't green, I try to do this when the wood's green because it's just way easier. Then you're going to get into the point where you need to do more than one cut. This is some dryish oak. Okay, like that. I'm most of the way through. Turn it 180 degrees and then hit it again. If you start getting into bigger pieces that require more than 2 blows, turn it about a third each time or whatever you need to just gradually cut through it. Also, if you get most of the way through, you can do that. Okay, so let me demonstrate how to do this wrong. So let's say I'm cutting this piece of wood and I tilt this too much this way and hit it across. It just bounces, okay? Because I'm not cutting across at a sharp enough angle. Versus, see how light I hit that and it just popped right off of there. This is a really small diameter piece of green fir, but if I hit it back behind, it just doesn't cut that effectively. Whereas if I hit it with support behind it, where it's backed up, it just cuts right through super easy. Just remember those few things and you'll just start blazing through this stuff. Be really careful at first. Don't try to use a lot of force. If you feel uncoordinated, like you're unable to do what you want, don't add force to try to compensate, because it's going to get you into trouble. Start on small diameter wood and just learn to do it that way, because it's going to be easy and you can relax and work on your aim and your technique and get used to the whole tool. Because so if you were to take anything that you do well with your dominant hand, let's say you're right-handed and you can throw, you know, a football or a baseball, well, put that in your other hand and try to throw it. And that's what it feels like to use a tool that's entirely unfamiliar to you. So it just takes time and practice to get everything, your physical memory going, and, you know, figure out how to use the thing until it starts to become like an extension of your arm or whatever. So yeah, take your time. Don't use excessive force. That's what gets a lot of people into trouble using axes, and it also breaks a lot of handles. Because you couple a poor aim with excessive force and it just makes the aim worse, and it makes anything that happens, it's like driving fast. Any accident that happens is that much worse if you're driving fast. Oh yeah.